opportunity shifts to the back end of the process, basically leveraging out the buyers and the owners, and that's really the focus of what we are looking at here. So, customer reward program, customer owner satisfaction program. This is the focus. And you can go to the next slide if you like to. Okay. So the way this ties together essentially is that it is a loop. Facebook project ties into the open house event, and then the referral program is then underlying. Most of this is in place, but now we're going to get the messaging and the emails and everything going, such that someone coming through the process, joining a Facebook project, open house events to become an owner, would be predisposed, be trained to basically do this. And then we'll try this in also an owner satisfaction program that we can survey the buyers and the owners as they go through the process and feedback that back again, up in again to the earlier part of the project to leads and prospect, and thereby, creating communication between both sides, of the process. Let's go to the next slide, Rick.
Oop, went too far.
Yeah. Okay. So what we said, just to recap, is that anyone can really join the program here, except for salespeople that are commissioned from selling. Everyone else, employees, sphere influence, leads, prospect, whoever can come in and register and be part of this reward program. But it is particularly for buyers and owners, and they will be automatically registered into the program. Anyone who joins the program will get confirmation acknowledging that they are part of the program, which also will explain, the rules and regulations of how you earn the rewards. So then in the next slide, then, we can see that there's kind of two paths to this. One is a direct path, and the other one is an indirect path. The direct path is kind of the old-fashioned way that you basically provide information about the people you want to refer. But we think that the indirect way is going to be much more comfortable and probably much more powerful. And that means that if you are a client sponsor in this program, and people coming into the Facebook project, coming into the open home event programs, and actually becoming adding to the database, meaning you are not in the database already, that individual would be considered as a referral, and it would be kind of be exciting, I think, opportunity to earn points. And I think that's pretty much.
Is that it?
I think that's pretty much where I left off inside of it.
Okay.
I have a question. You just mentioned, if someone from the Facebook application turns into a buyer or whatever that was not in the system before. But what happens if they were in the system before, but still they're turning into one because of that Facebook project?
They have to be at the done.
Yeah, they wouldn't be associated. It wouldn't be a referral at that point because they wouldn't be associated with that particular client.
Okay.
All right. So what I will pick it up from here and go through the information here on referral reward. And this is something that we're presenting today. Looking more for your feedback. It's probably the first draft of the actual program, how it would work. And then I will go through year 1 and year 2. They will vary. I should say year 1 and year 2 plus. This will be an ongoing program. And show you, what I'm thinking of as far as tracking it. So the first thing you need to understand is that up on the upper left here is that this program will operate using points. So you are going to have a reward point. And in a nutshell, 1 point equals $1. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And so the way that this is anybody, but primarily it's going to be targeted to buyers and owners, but this could be sphere of influence, it could be, prospects, it could be leads. But the way they would earn points is when, let's start with the buyer here. When a buyer signs a contract, I should say when a prospect signs a contract, okay, so they move from prospect to buyer, you're going to give them automatically 100 points. So everybody is going to start with something, so they get 100 points. Now what we will do, this is going back to owner satisfaction, we're going to tie 5 surveys throughout the construction and first year warranty, and every time either that buyer or owner completes a survey, they're going to earn another 20 points, so they can earn another 100 point max. So you'll see here at the end of year 1, the maximum amount of points somebody could earn is 200. Now, if they refer friend, family, coworker who purchases from you, the recommendation would be is you give them somewhere between 500 to 1,000 points. 500 to 1,000 points. And then we'll look at how they can redeem that here down below. Now you can also, let's say you want to run a special for like a double points month. So let's just say you've got an anniversary coming up, and your anniversary is in May. So what you can do is you could send an email out, an e-announcement out to all of your leads, prospects, buyers, everybody. You could say, hey, this is our 10th anniversary, and to celebrate, we are doing double reward points for anybody who refers a friend to us in the month of May. So if your bonus is, say, normally 500 points, they get 1,000 points for that. You could also give away additional points, if on a really special event if you wanted to. But the idea here is that when it comes down to redemption is nobody can redeem unless they get to 500 points. So this gives you the opportunity to, between 200 and 500 to play with things, giving them additional points if you want to do that. But I think most of us are probably, they'll probably get them to 200 points. At least then they've got something in the tank, and if they refer somebody to you, they're looking at, potentially $700 in cash. So now for redeeming, you can redeem however you want. My suggestion is this: if 1 point equals $1, they get 500 points. They get $500 cash. But let's just say you also give them the opportunity to do remodeling or care and repair. So I have a note here. We add 20% on top of that. More or less take your margin and add it in. So now they could get $600 towards remodeling or a care and repair service. And a care and repair service, might be something that you don't offer, but you could certainly contract with a local handyman or care and repair professional to do the work for your client. Now let's say somebody keeps some points in the bank. My suggestion is when you get to 1,000 points that you put together some sort of a vacation package, and you can go to pretty much any sort of travel agent, and they can come up with a vacation package that has a perceived value of, say, $2,000, but the cost is $1,000, or the perceived value is $1,500 or $2,500 or whatever it is. You can decide if you want to include airfare and hotel or just the vacation. So, or they could get $1,000 cash, or maybe now they get $1,200 in remodeling and care and repairs. There's some flexibility there, but my thoughts are it seems like cash is the most popular, so make that first and foremost. And then if you want to do something more than that, give away services, because then it gets you back in their house, back in front of them. Especially for you, Marty, with your remodeling department. That's a great way again to let that $600 or $1,200 lead to a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 project. Now, how people will track this. So I'll go through the communication and the sort of the touch points next. But each person will have a personal reward web page. Okay, so they're all going to have their own web page. This will be dynamic, which means that the page will change based on who the customer is. So the idea is this: is an email goes out. It has a link on the email. Let's say, hey, click here to check your rewards points, or click here to learn how to earn more rewards points, or click here to see if you can redeem your rewards points. So anything to create curiosity. They click on that link. It'll say, hi, Marty. Welcome to your Pratt Homes rewards page. And what it'll say is, okay, you have earned this many rewards points. And it will show them then also, how do you earn rewards points? Well, you can take surveys. So it will show them, of the 5 surveys, how many have been completed. But let's just say Marty completed 3, but she didn't complete the other 2. Well, what we'll do is we'll put a link on there to any survey she has not completed yet for feedback. And again, every time they complete a survey, they get another 20 points with a maximum of 100 points. If you've referred customers to us, we'll put their name in there. We'll also put their status in there. So are they a lead, prospect, buyer, or owner? You know, because we'll have that information in the system. We'll let them know if they've redeemed points, you know, how many they've redeemed, and then we'll give them again another tutorial on how do you earn more points, and also the rewards. So you can do cash, you can do remodeling services, you can do you know, vacation. Now, ultimately, the rewards will be up to you. I'm just putting these out here as a guideline. I think cash is certainly going to work for everybody, but you may opt to do something different than this. You know, you may opt to only do one of the three or two of the three. It's completely up to you. And then a little bit of fine print. So obviously the program is subject to change at any time. I would just, you know, recommend that points don't expire. They cannot be combined or transferred. So each, you know, you can't have two clients that want to combine points to get some work done on, you know, both their homes or one of their homes. And when they refer somebody and they buy from you, that they would get about $600 in options, because if you figure 500 cash, you add your 20% on top of it, you know, it's roughly $600 in options. So that is the basic overview of how the points would work. And what I'll go into next is the how the touch points would work on both year 1 and then year 2 plus. Any questions or feedback, Marty, from you or Jeremy on this first part? Anything you see that you're questioning if that would work, or anything that could be improved?
I think it's very clear.
Okay. Jeremy, anything from you?
No, I think it's clear. I understand why you're doing it. You're trying to keep people interacted, get more interaction, but I'm just wondering if we're making it too difficult.
Well, that's why we have the personal reward page, because they would just be able to click on that link and everything would be laid out in front of them. So it'll be very simple. If you've earned this many rewards, here's how you earn more reward points. And you know, really the only thing that you would have to do manually for this is if somebody did refer a person to you, you would manually have to add 500 points, you know, into their system, you know, or at least, you know, make a note of who they referred.
Right.
And I have tested this already. I have a property management business, and I have a reward point system just like this, and on average, my open rates when I send out emails to my past renters is 50%. You know, and I do have people that redeem them all the time and track them, and you know, come back year after year. So I know it works from that perspective, and you know, also if you look at industries as a whole, nearly every industry out there has some sort of a loyalty rewards or, you know, referral rewards program out there. So this is just a simple way to do if you use points. The reason we use points is because then you can give them something to start with. So one of the problems with getting referrals from say a remodeling project or home builder project is people are like, oh geez, well, I don't know anybody that wants to build a home, you know, let them think about it. But when they have that $200 sitting in the bucket and they just need to find one person so they can redeem it, now it gives them a little something incentive to keep paying attention and to keep in play.
Right. All right.
Okay, so let's go on to year 1 here, and I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Okay, so what I have is touch points. We have approximately 17 touch points in year 1. Could be more than that, could be less. I'll show you really how it works. So we have touch points over here. We have the item in this row, a trigger here. Now the thing I highlighted, which is important for you guys to understand, is what would you have to do manually for the program? And then what could the system do automatically? So we'll start with touch point number 1. This would start at the contract. And whether it's a plan deposit or a purchase agreement, it's up to you. We're gonna just default to saying it's a purchase agreement contract. And what we would do is we would create, say, a 1-page form that would be part of your paperwork when someone signs a contract. And what this would give you authorization to post photos and video updates on Facebook, you know, and permission for an open house. You know, and so it would introduce the referral rewards program. It would tell them, hey, if you do this and anybody comes in and buys, just like Runa's slide showed you, you are gonna, you know, indirectly earn rewards points that you can convert into dollars, remodeling services, or vacations. And so what we'll do is we'll have them review that with you. We'll probably have a couple acknowledgments on that form, and they would sign off. So it doesn't mean you're going to do an open house. It doesn't mean you're going to do a Facebook project, but they're giving you permission to do it, and then you can determine if if you want to move ahead with it. Now, the other thing we will do as part of this is we will collect birthdays. So right on the form we'll have, family members and get their birthday. So again, if it's a family of 4, we'll get the birthdays for the kids and the parents. Don't need the year, just need the month and the date. And that will be used for future touch points to show there. So this is manual. So you'll take this information and then you would log the birthdays into their Customer 101. I'm assuming if it'd be in Customer 101 somewhere, or there would be a link in Customer 101 for the referral rewards where we'd have this information.
Yes, I think that makes sense.
Okay. And then automatically, when you go ahead and update the stage from prospect to buyer in Ubix, automatically we're going to put 100 points into their referral reward program, and we're going to send out an email, a welcome email with a program overview, and that'll have a link to their personalized web page. Say, hey Marty, welcome to the program. Click here to see how our rewards program works. You've already earned 100 points. Check it out, sort of thing. Now, from here, we start going into owner satisfaction, or buyer and owner satisfaction. So we're gonna have 5 different surveys, beginning right away. When you update the stage from prospect to buyer, the first thing we will do is, after this email goes sent out, welcome to the program, is we are going to send out an email asking them for feedback on the sales process. And so we'll have 3 to 5 questions, and say, basically, how was the sales process on a scale of 1 to 5, and allow them the opportunity to comment. Now, Runa, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe in the future, we will get permission from them to post comments on the website, like as in a testimonial form. So we'll have a box that when they fill out the survey, we'll have a box that checks to say, I give you permission to post my comments on your website to use for testimonials. And as soon as they submit that, you have permission for it, and so you're going to have ongoing reviews going for you. And so we were able to eventually convert this information, like say 1 out of 5 stars, into reviews similar to what Guild Quality is doing, and then where people can actually go on your website, we can create a widget where they can go into a micro page and they can see ongoing live reviews from people. So every one of these surveys that gets filled out, we give an incentive to the buyer or the owner. So it's a 20 point incentive, or roughly equal to $20. And every time they fill one out, we would be submitting permission to use this as a review, and then automatically we would put that on your website. This is down the road, but we'll be able to take this information, put it on the website where people can see a review and how your sales process is, or your design process is, your construction, so on and so forth.
Would you have the opportunity to choose? I mean, if you said automatic, so those would be automatically posted on your website?
No, it wouldn't be automatically posted, but what it would do is you would get a notification that someone has filled out a survey, and then what you would do is you can go and review the survey, and then you would approve it to put it, to post it.
Okay.
But again, that's phase 2. Phase 1 is simply just getting the survey information back right now, and then we'll work on putting it into a widget where we can tally things and give you a review scores. So they're going to get a sales process. Yeah.
Sorry if you already went over this, but if I'm going backwards, but would there be a link that we could point them towards our Google Places ad so they can leave a Google review as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, we could put the same link right on these emails.
All right.
Yep. Or, I mean, maybe, Runa, I don't know if it's even possible that when they submitted the survey from us in the comments section, no, it wouldn't be possible because they actually have to go into your Google Plus page and do that. Yeah, we could do both though, Jeremy. And we could actually, it's a good point, we could tie the 20 points into, submitting to Google Places as well. Or just add a 6th one, for Google Places. Let me just make a note of that here. Okay, good thought. Okay, so design, construction. So what will happen is design, as I thought, the trigger would be 30 days after you switch them. So you move them from a prospect to a buyer. We'll do a 30-day delay, and then we'll send out the survey for that. So even if they aren't completed yet with design, they at least have the opportunity to meet with your interior designers, do selections, or at least begin selections, and should have their plan about done.
What about contingent ones where they have not started any of that?
Well, contingent ones, they would be a prospect, because it's not a ratified purchase agreement. So if someone writes contingent, I would leave them as an A prospect and just make that note. I wouldn't move them into a buyer.
Okay.
Okay, so then construction. The thought on construction is that we'll wait 30 days after closing. So when you update the stage from a buyer to owner, we know that the home is closed. 30 days later, we'll trigger out a survey there for construction. And then I thought we would do 2 for warranty. So when they are a buyer, we would do one 6 months after closing, and another one 1 year after closing when the warranty is completed, and allow them to do the survey there. And again, what they're doing is they're earning 20 points here. And if we want to for the Google Plus review, I don't know how we would track that, but we could add it. We could add it in there. But they're going to earn somewhere between 100, to 120 points for doing these. So this gets us through the first 9 touch points if we do a Google review. And so now we move into touch point 10 and 11. I've always recommended that you do 2 client appreciation events, or whether it's an on-site event or whether you go to them a year, one in the summer and one over the holidays. So this again goes back to manual. You would go ahead and you would put together an e-announcement for your event. And on that e-announcement, you would still have a link to their personal web page reminding them of your rewards program. So the idea is that every time they hear from you from whatever, they have the opportunity to be reminded of the rewards program and check their point totals, and again to reconfirm how they earn more points. A couple of ideas on this. As far as events go, you don't always have to have them on site. The best events usually take place in a neighborhood where you've already built a lot of homes, because you get a high turnout there. But I have a scatter lot builder that will take and do a poinsettia delivery. They'll pick, like say, 100 of their best or their most recent owners, or including buyers, and they'll do a poinsettia delivery one weekend. The whole company will. And when they go out and do a poinsettia delivery, they'll just drop off a postcard with it, reminding them of their rewards program. Now, this summer, what they're doing is they're actually going to do a gift certificate delivery for their care and repair program. So they have a care and repair department, and they're going to deliver everyone a gift certificate, give them 2 hours to use towards care and repair, and then again reintroducing or reminding them of the rewards program and how they can earn additional care and repair, or cash bonuses. So that's the idea. Otherwise, we do some simple as a barbecue with a jumper if you have young kids, Santa house in the early December, where you have Santa come and do a model home. But there's lots of opportunities to do this. But you don't always have to have them come to you. You can go to them as well. So that would be manual, doing the notification for the event. Now, holiday greetings. I recommend you do at least 1 holiday greeting each year outside of Christmas. So as an example, my company, we always do a Thanksgiving card. The reason we don't do Christmas is because everyone gets inundated with greetings over Christmas time. So pick, my accountant does St. Patrick's Day. Pick a holiday that's 4th of July, a little bit out of the norm. And what we would do is, send out a holiday greeting, for that. And again, every single greeting, every single email would have a reminder link on how the rewards program works. Now, I mentioned before that we get birthdays up front. So let's just assume you've got 2 buyers and 2 birthdays. So what will happen now is once you put that date into the system, 1 week prior to that date, you will get an action request to send out a birthday card. And then, if you can buy a box of birthday cards, you can maybe even have the owners already have them signed out and just stick it in the mail and send it out. And then on the day of the birthday, the system will automatically send out a birthday wish, a happy birthday email. So even if you forget or don't do the card in the mail, they're still going to get an email on their birthday. So what will happen is, let's say the birthday is June 20th. Every year on June 20th, you will automatically send an email out to this person. You don't need to do anything more with it. And then also every year on June 13th, you will get an action request that says, hey, send out a birthday to this person. Birthday card to this person. So I'm putting 2 on here, but there could be 1, there could be 6. You just don't know by the size of the buyer group. Okay, so next touch point would be the completion anniversary.
Email for birthday is automatic generated, right?
Right. Yep. Over here, this column is automatic. In fact, what I should do is this. Let's see. Okay, that should be easier. So when I get to the birthday, so the birthday emails are automatic. The action request to send a card is automatic. What you would have to do manually is actually send the card. And so that's going to be optional for you. You may or may not do that, but even if you don't send the card, they're going to get an email. Does that make sense, Jeremy?
Yeah, it does. Thanks.
Okay. All right. So now we get to the completion anniversary. Same thing here, just like the birthdays. You're going to get a notification from the system, an action request to send a card out for the anniversary 1 week prior to the anniversary. And of course, the anniversary is simply 360 days from the time that you switch them from a buyer to an owner. And also, the system will generate an email on the date of the anniversary, and send them a note, thank you for the business, congratulations on your 3rd, 4th, 5th, 10th anniversary of, when you're home. Don't forget about our referral rewards program. Click here to see how many points you have and how you earn more. So I made...
So the automated email of their anniversary won't actually be on their anniversary date?
It will be.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it'll be what it'll be, Marty, it'll be the date that you updated the stage from a buyer to an owner.
Okay.
So whether you did that on the closing date, a week before, a week after, whatever, it'll be 360 days from that.
Okay.
And again, and that is automated.
And is that just for 1 year, or would it be?
Nope, that's every year.
2, 3?
Birthdays and anniversaries, and we'll go into year 2+ here next. But birthdays and anniversaries will be each year automatically.
Okay.
So here's what you have at the end of year 1. If a customer completed all 5 surveys, they would have earned 200 points. Remember, they got to have 500 to redeem, but they've got something in their bucket. So we can tell them, hey, you've got points. Click here to find out how to redeem them, how to turn them into cash, how to turn them into remodeling services. And then we'll always put that link, where they can go to their personal rewards page. All right, so let's go to year 2 and look at the touch points here. So now we've gone through our completion anniversary. That is the end of year 1. Now we're into year 2. So we go back again. Each year, the recommendation is to do client appreciated invites. You may or may not do these. Okay, so that's why this is manual. It's got to be triggered by you setting up an event, whatever it is, and you sending out an email notification, through the e-announcement system. Now, holiday greeting, again, would be manual as well. So you're going to pick out a holiday that you want to send an email to, and again, we can put the link on there. So these 3 things, again, right up front here are manual. Now we get into the automated part. So at a minimum, if you do nothing more than this, again, you will get an action request to send a card for birthdays. You're going to get an email automatically go on the birthdays. Anniversary, same thing. We'll automatically get an action request to send a card and an email. Now the other thing I was looking at is, and Runa, I haven't even talked to you about this yet, but it seemed to make sense, is I thought at least once per quarter we should just send out a notification, via email to the owner with their reward point update. Here's where you're at. Here's how you earn more. So just a quick note, here's where you're at. And my hope is that we could trigger this to go out automatically. So again, we get to our completion anniversary, first year completion anniversary. So this would be, in this case, 360. The completion anniversary would be 360 days or 1 year after the project's completed, and then again another 90 days from that. We send out a quarterly reward point update. And we do that on 180 days after that, 270 and 360. And this will be ongoing. You guys don't touch it, just ongoing. So you can see here with the green, everything in the green, we've got birthday emails that will be automatic, completion anniversary, which would be automatic, and then we, at a minimum, you would have one touch point per quarter, on the rewards program. That would be automatic. And you could do, obviously, anything more than that, over and above that, utilizing the e-announcement system. Questions, feedback, thoughts on this?
I like the auto-generated. I don't like the manual stuff.
I know you do.
like
I know. I know, Jeremy. Unfortunately, we can't quite figure out how to get the system to write a thank you card yet. We're working on it, though. Darius is working overtime.
Yeah. And just a quick comment from me, Rick.
Yes.
Yeah, your job is to define the requirements. Our job is to figure out what we can do, when we can get it done, whatever. So you should just don't worry too much about it. Just put together the best solution you can think about it now to figure out how we can do it.
Can you get the system to write a thank you note?
We actually did create certifications through the system for online learning, so in PDF. So I don't know. We'll see. There will be phase 1, phase 2, phase 9. That's the way things go. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah. The only thing I was thinking of is there's a company called sendoutcards.com, and I think that you can actually take somebody and give them all their birthdays, give them the anniversary date, give them that send out cards, and they actually mail cards to them, and they have that printer that looks like it was signed. You do one signature and it looks like it was signed by you. So, if there's anything possible like that where you could actually have an email being sent to these people, to send out a card, that would be the only thing I could think of. But Marty, I'm sorry, Marty, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, can't someone also just decide to stick with just the automated and not mail
Oh, yeah,
out
of course. Yeah, the manual is going to be optional for everybody.
Okay.
Yep. So you might get an action request to send a card, but you may be like, I'm not going to send a card. I'll just let the email go. And that's why I would try to have both. Some people will do more, and some people will do just the automated part of it.
Yeah, I like the holiday cards and this, that type of thing, and I like the sendoutcards.com. I think a birthday email is probably just as fine as sending a birthday card. That's me, though.
The benefit to the email is they have a link to their rewards page.
Right.
And the disadvantage, of course,
that.
is if it gets put in spam or they don't open it.
Yeah, I actually like what Jeremy said, too. Especially when you get families that have, 6 kids and sending a birthday card to every one of them, I think almost gets a little, just my own personal opinion. I like the anniversary cards from when they close. I like the holiday ones too, but I'm not so sure about how people here would respond to sending birthday cards out.
Yeah, and that's why if you could, use a service like Send Out Cards, something like that, that would kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Make it automated, and you could still get something sent to them in the mail.
So how do you plan on doing this, Rick? Do you plan on giving a spreadsheet to each client and let them customize it themselves, or take things out that they don't plan to do and then implement it into Ubix, or what's the plan?
No, this is simply just the kind of the overview of the requirements, and then what Runa will do is he'll take this and put it into an initiative document, and we'll actually build everything inside Ubix. And then there'll just be a trigger point, right now there actually is in Customer 101, which I think is, add to referral program. And so when that happens, when you add somebody to a referral program, you'll have to put in, again, the initial information. So you take that information sheet from when you sell it, you get their birthdays, you put it in there. The trigger point, they would automatically, if it's a buyer, they automatically are triggered when you move them to a buyer from prospect stage, and then you're off and running. Really at that point, you don't need to touch it, if you're not going to do any of the manual things. It just would go automatically. The only thing you have to do is you have to keep your stages updated. So it won't do you any good is if you have a closing and it takes you never change the stage from a buyer to a prospect. Then the rewards program will never kick in for, year one and year two.
Right.
So you just have to maintain your stages correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Marty, anything more from you?
I'm still absorbing all of it.
All right. Well, I'll make a note here too to look into sendoutcards.com and see if there's any way of that could be automated. So we will go to and then we got to get to anniversary. Here we go. Okay. So I got that in there. I would assume, Jeremy, most people are going to be like you. I mean, they're going to want to do as little as possible with this. And then besides doing the initial setup and collecting the birthdays, putting it into the system, it would be nice then just to let it go on its own. Obviously the appreciation events are going to be up to you. Maybe you do none, maybe you do one, maybe you do three. I mean, it's completely up to you. Okay. Well, Runa, any other comments from you before we get a little update on the launch from Jeremy? You're muted, Runa. We cannot hear you.
I'm fine at this point. I did want to touch base with you for a couple of minutes after this meeting, but
Yep.
Let's just move on.
Okay. And we will save this. Okay, so launch program. So Jeremy, or I'll give a little overview here too. What we're putting together is when you have a new project, new lots, new project you're starting, new phase of a project, whatever, and there's always that delay period of when, say, the project gets approved until the time the permits are available. And so what we have done is put together what's called a launch program, and it's something that you can use to generate a buzz for your new lots and create an interest list that you can use to convert those interested people into ultimately buyers down the road. So what I've put together here is this is actually an actual launch that's going on right now with NIH with Jeremy, and as you can see on Saturday is their launch day. So I'll give you a quick overview of this program, how it works. First of all, we did 4 email invites to this launch. So starting roughly 11 days out, we sent out 4 emails, and the call to action on these emails was to stop by an open house. So the launch is simply, here's what's going on. If you're interested, you have to do this. So the call to action is actually to physically come out to the open house. What we're trying to do is create the buzz and get more than one person to come to the open house and see that peer pressure of people that are interested and put their name on an interest list and put down some money. So we did 4 email invites, and I will show you what those look like right now. I pulled them up. Okay, so the invites were designed that you can send them to anybody in your database. You can send them to realtors, leads, prospects, buyers, and owners, anybody. So it begins with, hey, Nancy, please pass this on. So we got 3 new neighborhoods coming up. We want to see if either you or any of your friends, coworkers, or neighbors might be interested in getting more information. Now, this is sort of unusual in that there was 3 neighborhoods. Most of the time it would just be 1, but so be it. So we put on here where the neighborhoods are located, the price ranges, some of the site amenities, the school district, and then also what they need to do. So we're going to host an open house from 1 to 5 p.m. in our Cedar Crest model. We're going to share more information about anyone interested to, to sign up for the opportunity to review these home sites when they become available. click here for directions. And we'll send out more information in the next couple of days. Thanks for spreading the word. So please pass this on. So that was email number 1. Email number 2, go here. So some details on the new locations. 3 new locations we have coming up. Here's the interest list, first come, first serve. $500. You got to put down $500 to get on the list. It's fully refundable. And when the home sites become available, you'll have the opportunity to review them, determine if the home and lot package is a good fit. If it is, you'll choose a specific home site, go to design. If it's not, you'll get your money refunded. And then same call to action. Come to the open house on June 22nd. Click here for directions. You can also, if you got more information, call me. Now, Jeremy, on this one, you said people were replying to the email. Was anybody calling you, or most people just replying to the email and asking questions?
I had a couple people call.
Okay.
A couple of them being past customers, past clients, and yeah, just a couple.
Okay. And were they calling like as from a referral basis, like they knew somebody that might be interested?
One of them was, yes, and one of them was actually looking for themselves again, possibly.
Oh, okay. All right. Email number 3, which went out on the 18th, so that was just 2 days ago. So here we introduced, again, the price ranges for the packages, 600 to 1.5 million, when people could actually move in, probably moving into their home, February of next year, when they could start. And again, we put the school district down there again because that was one of the primary selling points. So this is like the features and benefits for the open house template. Same call to action. Come to the open house. And then the last email, which went out today, was right here, which was, hey, it's this Saturday, don't miss it. Here's again the features and benefits. Here's what you need to do. It's $500. Click here to get directions. It's this Saturday from 1 to 5. Pass it along if you know anybody else. So looking forward to talking soon. So this is, Jeremy, how many people were on this list that you're sending out to?
If I remember correctly, 1,100, I believe. 1,100 emails.
And that's including realtors, right?
Realtors, prospects, leads, owners, and buyers.
Okay. Yep. So basically everybody outside of your
I did not
sphere.
send it to Sphere. I did not send it to my Sphere.
Yep. Yep. So this is what happens. So we promote through email notifications to come to the open house. Now we have a launch date coming up on Saturday. It's going to be from 1 to 5. And this is where people are going to get more information and reserve a spot. So what we will have for collateral materials at the open house, plat maps, grading plans. We're going to have photos of the site amenities. It might be renderings if there's going to be site amenities not completed yet. We'll have a geographic map location, like a Google map showing where it's located in the community. Pricing list. This may, in your case, Jeremy, it was final. You already had prices, but in most times it'll probably be preliminary price list. Everyone that's interested will sign up on a first-come, first-served basis. So let's just say the doors open at 1 o'clock. If there's the first person at 1 o'clock will be the number 1 spot on the list, and when the home sites become available, they would have first pick. Number 2, second pick, number 3, third pick, so on and so forth. So what we do now is once the people get themselves on the list, they put down $500, there's the next step, and that is we're going to go ahead and begin preliminary budgets. We'll begin walking the home sites when the grading's complete, and we've got to get finance approval. So in other words, we don't want to have someone on the list that doesn't have their finance in order, so they don't knock out a good prospect or a true prospect that does. So they're going to have to make a mortgage application and get approval subject to final underwriting, and that has to happen within the next week. From there, we go to July 8th, so the Monday after 4th of July weekend. From there, we would have to, people, would begin the design phase if available. So in other words, the number 1 person on the list would be able to start design at that point. And they'd be able to pick a home site and start design. And once they start design, we can go to number 2 and having them start design, and number 3, number 4, and number 5. So we're going to get a plan deposit, authorized, and we're going to review architectural and association guidelines with them if we haven't already, and keep them moving forward. August 1st, we're going to start pricing, And we will move people into selections who can move into selections, and people's whose plan has been completed or at least far enough completed. And then commitment day, which is our third milestone here, is going to be August 24th. So we're roughly 2 months out from commitment day. And that's where you've got to have a non-contingent purchase agreement submitted in order to keep your home site. If you don't commit by August 24th, the home site goes back on the market and will be sold to somebody else. Launch day procedure, this is more or less it right here. And there's a few more notes here. So this is the second time I've done this. NIH is number 2. The first time around, we've had excellent luck with it. We have 21 people on the interest list, and this is a $1 million, project, $1 million home package project, and it's gone really, really well. It was not as a condensed of a timeline as this. It was probably spread out more over about 4 months, but nonetheless, we've had people on the list. Some people have fallen off, but the list continues to grow the farther we get out there. And we are actually, I'll have an update of how many people are converting into non-refundable option deposits the week after the 4th, because that particular project, they've got to do their commitments between the 8th and the 15th. And then we'll have a pretty good idea of how many of those 21 are actually going to convert. Jeremy, anything else you want to add on things people have asked you, or feedback you've gotten so far during the email notification phase?
No, I just think it'd be, like we talked about before, I think it'd be a great idea to make this where you could have a squeeze page and track everything, RSVP. I think it'd be great to be able to do that.
And we are doing that as we speak. I've given all this to Adriana, and she's putting it together right now. So it'll just be, when you set up an event right now, this will be just another module that you can use to set up.
Right.
Marty, does this make sense to you? Do you see how the angle we're going for here?
Yeah, I'd really like to do it for our new project. So this is great.
Yeah, and a lot of people have said the same thing. And we finally have a strong enough market. Well, supply is down so much, and as new projects come on, there's a lot of interest. Well, this is a way to get them interested sooner and convert more of them right away.
That's
So,
cool.
yeah, let us know when your project is coming up, and we can put something like this together for you as well. Hopefully, when's the timing of your new project?
Well, I think we're supposed to dig our model sometime in July. I'll try to find out what the actual date is, but the nice thing about it is it's just south, literally across the street from another community that we have. So hosting something like this in that model home would be perfect.
Absolutely.
And they could literally walk over to the lots.
Yep. Well, we can hack it right now. We can use e-announcements and, do it right now. We have all the copy, and we'll be able to have, by next week, Thursday, we'll have feedback from Jeremy on how many they got.
I'll be anxious to hear that. Yeah. That'd be great. And I'll start gathering the stuff for it.
Okay.
I'm waiting for a color rendering that I'm hoping to have as early as tomorrow, possibly into next week. But, yeah.
Okay, great.
Cool.
All right, so let me move on to the last item on the agenda today, and this is the additional lead capture tool. So one of the things we've done in remodeling is we created what's called a planning guide, and we put it as a lead capture tool on the website, and we've had some good success with it. So what I want to do is I want to bring this over into to new homes as well, and this would also mean updating the nurturing program. So what I did is I created 2 images here. The only difference between these 2 images is the word custom. We have some clients that maybe don't consider themselves a custom builder, but most of them probably do. So this would be the image we'd be looking at on your website. So considering building a home, download our free planning guide. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the program, my thought is to put this, as for premium clients like you guys, is to put it either right under the design library, I should say the design, enhanced design library call to action, so number 2 on the sidebar, or possibly under the quiz is number 3. It sounds like the quiz is getting you guys some decent activity, so we might move it to number 3. But the way it works is they download this guide, and then, Marty, you've seen this, what we do is we take one chapter from the guide and we use that as part of the email update. So in this case, this is from Remodeling, 6 Essential Renovation Design Elements. And so it looks like it's a book here. We've got the contents for this particular chapter, including some key terms, and then the six items on here. Now, one of the other things that's kind of neat, I don't know if I have it on this one or not. Yes, I do. Is we would have a call to action on each guide, and the call to action would be to do a schedule a talk. So not only on the email coming out from the nurturing program, there would be on the signature line there, you'd have a button to schedule a talk, but we'd also have it on the PDF here to schedule a talk. So someone would be able just to click on the link to schedule the talk, or simply pick up the phone and call you with each one.
This is so, you have no idea how excited I am that this is coming on the new home side, because we get so many people that do this on the remodel. And so we have gotten to where we use it. We don't do a lot of print ad anymore, but the little bit that we do, that's what we have. We have very basic information. Go to our website and download your free
planning guide.
Yes, and we do get a lot of that. So I am actually very excited about this, and I would actually vote for it to be up higher on the list.
Yeah, I think putting that number 2 might be just fine, just because we've gotten such good results from Remodeling. And so this will just be an additional lead capture tool for you. But no matter how someone opts into the nurturing program, we would probably change it so it looks like a chapter, each week. So here's what I need to know from you, Jeremy. Your nurturing program obviously is very specific to you. You don't have to change it up. You can leave it as is, and you don't even, if you don't want to add the lead capture, the actual image to the website, if it's working for you and you don't want to mess with it, don't mess with it. I just wanted to make you guys aware of it, that we're going to start doing this, especially for our basic clients. And if you want us to do the conversion for you, we can do that. But it's going to, obviously I can't write the lessons for Larry in this planning guide, what you have personalized for you, Jeremy. So I'll leave it up to you if you want to make the update, but if you're just happy with the way things are going, we'll just leave it as is.
Can we just make it leave what we have is right now, but if they click on that, they can just download this whole thing type of thing? Or?
We're not going to have it available as one download. Each chapter will be individual. Now, what we could do is we could make your nurturing program longer. You could leave what you have in place, and we could add in these downloads as like part 2. So instead of having a 4.5-month nurturing program, maybe you would have a 7 or 8 month nurturing program when you do all the chapters.
Right.
So a couple different ways to skin that cat.
I'd be interested.
Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go back to, our nurturing program, and we have a client in Texas that I'm going to do this for right away and start making these updates. And as we get through the updates and complete them all, we'll come back to you guys, show you what we have for each one, so you'll be able to review, this, what would it be for new homes. And, then if you want to add it into your program, we can look at how you want to be added in, where you want to be added in, so on and so forth. But I think all in all, I agree with you, Marty. I think it's going to be a good change, and, we'll look more professional, and the prospects, I know a lot of them get excited when they get a new chapter each week as far as the leads, so they do look forward to the information.
Yep, I really like it, so very exciting.
Good enough. That's it for today. You guys have any final questions or thoughts before we adjourn?
Nope.
I hear none. Thanks for your feedback, Jeremy, and good luck Saturday. I hope it goes well with the launch.
Yeah, I'm anxious to hear about that. So.
Hey,
See you guys.
Yeah. Yes, Runa.
please hang in after the meeting. I want to face with you.
Yeah, okay.
All right, thank you,
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Okay, are we alone?